gone to a party at Langen's. It was the end of Wimbledon week, and I recognised Cubby Broccoli. I was a Bond fan, and and that confidence of youth. I went over to him and introduced myself, and said, "When are you going to have a decent theme song again?"
Did you really say that?
He said, "Do you want to do it?" And so he invited me to his office in Mayfair the next day, and got me on the phone with John Barry, and it was just one of those amazing deals, A chance to die, can we dance into the fire?
Why do you think the franchise continues to excite people 50 years on?
Gosh, well, he's just one of the great action heroes, isn't he? He's like Sherlock Holmes. I don't think we see a little bit, certainly guys, we see a little bit of James Bond in all of us, just a little bit.
Equally, Duran is still exciting fans 30 years on. And now John Taylor is telling the story of the band's rise to stardom in his new autobiography.
Well, I was quite a nerdy kid at school. I was a Nigel. I was like Clark Kent.
You really were a Nigel.
Well, it was one of those Clark Kent Superman moments, And, within a year, I think I changed my name. I'd stopped wearing the glasses. I was like the least likely to kid at school.
I want to just relate for our viewers some of what you've written in the book. And I quote you, "I'm a pin-up on thousands of bedroom walls, but the fear of loneliness is turning me into a coke head." Talk me through what you were doing and how you felt at the time.
None of us had any clue that we were going to be like we were going to become teen idols. And that was, careful what you pray for kind of deal, because it created this popularity contest in the band. It sort of created a tension that I was uncomfortable with. Plus I just didn't have the off switch that the rest of the band had. They knew. It could be 5 a.m. and everybody would know, hey, it's time to go to bed. But just didn't have that. I just didn't have that off switch. I just kept going.
When did you realise just how bad things were?
It was just I just started to struggle with reality, and it wasn't until almost 20 years ago actually that a therapist said to me, "You're an alcoholic and you need to get sober." I was quite glad to have a diagnosis actually, because I just thought I was feeling bad because I'd made all these bad choices. So when somebody says to you, No, it's not that. It's not lack of education. It's genetic, and and there's treatment for it. It was quite a relief actually.
What's different these days, apart from the obvious that you're 20 years old?
Yeah, it's very different. We the money we used to spend on drugs, it goes on massage, which I think is I think that's a very age appropriate step in the right direction. Technology, obviously, you feel a lot more connected. Skype is fantastic. Many musicians' marriages are being saved as we speak because of Skype.
Teenaged fans, a blessing or a curse?
Well, a blessing when they're in the concert hall, a curse when they're outside your bedroom window at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Which they were for years,
yeah.
Right? How would you describe John Taylor in his 20s?
Very upbeat, optimist, very excitable, easily led, loves his music.
And in his 50s?
Yeah, much the same.